Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna bring you a new video. I'm gonna bring you a medium skin fade with the spikes on top and a beard trim. As you can see, it's a very long video, but I think it's worth it. I think it's full of details and everything. So if you make it to the end of the video and you like it, then please like it. But enough talking, let's get into the video. I don't have the before, so this is all I have. First of all, I'm gonna start with the top. We're gonna start cutting the top first, and I'm gonna spray the hair very good with just water. Then I'm gonna section the back. I'm gonna separate the back and the top in two big sections. And I'm trying to comb the hair in the natural growth pattern, and then from that section I'm going to the corner of the front as high as the roundness of the head. Then I'm grooming the hair on the top so it doesn't come into my sections. First section is gonna be a diagonal straight section. I'm going diagonal because this is how his hair growing, so I just wanna make sure I'm gonna cut the hair in the way it grows as well, so when it's gonna be dried and fall into position, it's not gonna look bad. I just changed the angle, and I think this is a better view for YouTube. I comb the first section, choose my angle, choose my length, and I cut. Another section. Now the previous sections meet in the middle with the new section. This way we have even length all over the back and the sides. So just take small sections, clean sections. Make sure you use the fine tooth of the comb and always check your guide. So see the fine tooth of the comb, I lift my hair, and that way I have just enough tension in between my fingers. I'm using a small scissor. This is a 4.5 inch. And I get used to this length. It's so good and so easy to work small sections and precise sections. Same, always the new sections. Always the new section meet in the middle with the previous section, guys, because this is very important when it comes to the length from the back to the sides, the transition. Of course, I'm not going all the way down because I'm gonna have a medium skin fade, so I'm gonna use the clipper almost all the way up. And when it comes to the clippers, you will see why I do these sections and why I create the shape before I cut with the clipper. always comb the sections after you cut them. This process usually doesn't have to take long, so at the beginning just go slow. If you never practiced this before, just go slow, and you want to make sure everything is right, and then as you practice more you can speed up the process. I'm going very slow for the video, just for the better understanding, better view, and I'm trying my best to show you the best angle. Let me know if you want to see it from different angle. Like, I'm trying to see and to imagine how you're gonna see better on the video, and I think this angle is okay for the sides. Okay, now I take a section from the back and I'm gonna pass the corner of the front. As you can see, is almost in the middle of the head. See, it's just past the corner of the front, and this way I can connect the top with the sides. It's a very easy step to do, and I recommend you try, and you'll see the disconnection over there. So it's very easy. Just leave the hair up, same, choose the angle, choose the length, and just cut it down. But this technique, I mean this connection, with this connection you have to be very careful when you come to the fringe, and I'll show you in a minute what I mean. Same, I'm going diagonal sections, slow, I leave the hair, choose the angle, follow the guide, and cut it down. Now, depends of the length you want to have on top, you change the angles and you lift the hair differently. I'm trying to lift the hair here at 90 degrees, and I'm trying to have the same angle I had on the side, so it's not exaggerated and it doesn't go straight, it doesn't follow the head shape. If you follow the head shape, you're gonna have more like a rounded shape. Always comb the hair after you cut it. It's gonna help you later on. I don't need to pull the hair with the fingers because I have the tension from my comb. I have the right tension, just enough tension for me to have a clean section. And this is my last section on this side before I cut the front. So slightly drag this to the previous. And the very front, the fringe, bring it to the previous sections you cut. So this way you preserve the length in the front. You keep most of the length. And also you have a very good connection. Like, there is no disconnection in between the sides and the front. There is no disconnections. You can have disconnections if you want to have I don't know, a very big quiff, but this is gonna be just medium kind of spiky hair, mid-length, and it's gonna be connected all over the back and the side and the top. Now I'm gonna start with the top, and I'm going for a middle section, not too thick. So I have the back done on the left hand side, and I have the sides connection with the top. All I need to do now is to trim the top, and I'm gonna follow the head shape for most part. The only part I'm not gonna follow the shape is gonna be in the front, because the head is round and the front has to be just a bit longer for a better shape on top when you do like a quiff, like a spiky top. So you have to be very careful on your position and the client position of the head. If it looks down, of course the shape is not gonna be the same if it looks up or if it looks on the side. So always check the mirror and always check his head position. So as you can see here, I leave the hair up and I'm not gonna go round, I'm just gonna go straight. So the very front is gonna be longer than the top. And now I'm gonna start doing horizontal sections, and I just wanna pass the guide, so I make sure I follow the guide. And this time I'm not gonna follow the head shape, this time I'm gonna go straight, so just a straight line. I think my battery just died, so I had to change the battery on my camera. So there we go again. Leave the hair up, previous section, new section, meet in the middle, and just cut straight. Towards the sides we're gonna have a bit longer hair, but we're gonna give a texture later on. I like to use the fine tooth of the comb just because I have a better tension. And as I go forward, I'm using the scissor, I'm using a point cut technique, so my hair is not gonna be very blunt when I'm going to texture the hair. If your hair is very blunt and straight, then you need to remove a lot length to give a good texture. So just a small tip. Now I'm gonna go over again, and I'm gonna check my sections. I want to make sure I lift the sections in a position. I speed up the process so you don't get bored. I know it's gonna be a long video, but I hope you like it. And now I'm gonna, of course I do the same I do the same thing on the other side, and then I just dry the hair. Just wanna dry the hair to make it ready for the fade. But before we get into the fade, I'm gonna texture the hair using the point cut technique. Same, I take small thin sections, leave the hair up, and use just the tip of the scissor and cut into the hair. So his hair is gonna be lift up and spike on the top, so I wanna make sure he has a nice texture. Okay guys, so now is the time for the fade. I'm gonna start putting my zero line just above the ear, like an inch, and I'm gonna tap very slow with the trimmer, so I'm not pressing at all, just enough to make sure it's the zero over there, and I'm going all the way back. This is gonna be my skin line. Of course, underneath this one, I'm gonna use the shaver, so I'm gonna have a clean fade at the end. I'm gonna speed up the process here because you don't want to get bored. Just clean, make sure everything is okay. You don't left the hair under the ear. I'm going to use the Braun Series 9, and I'm just going same as you go with the clipper, just very soft, very slow, and I want to make sure I don't go up to the line. I just want to go underneath the line I create already with the trimmer. So I'm gonna have a fade in between the shaver and the trimmer. Now I take the clipper and zero open. I'm gonna use a fade blade from GRL, and as you can see, I'm not setting a guide very harsh. I'm trying to scoop with the 0.5, yeah? So I'm trying to scoop. If you put this in slow motion, you'll see I'm not going straight, I'm not going pointed. I'm trying to scoop the hair, so I create a little bit of fade at the end of the movement. I also go many times over the hair, so I make sure my 0.5 is gonna be 0.5. Now I'm going for one open, and I do the same thing I did with the 0.5. Just scoop into the hair, don't go straight. If you go straight, you're gonna lose more length and you're gonna bring the fade higher. If that's what you want, then you go straight into the hair. Your fade is gonna be higher and higher, especially when you come back and remove the lines. So try to scoop, not too much. Try to feel the head, feel the skin, and then scoop. So most of the part you go flat and then you scoop. Same thing with a 1.5 open. I go into the hair and I'm trying to keep the same distance in between the guides. In between the numbers, I try to use the same distance. And you can go fast over this, because this is just the sketch. All you need to make sure is you have accuracy when you do this, and you want to make sure you have the same amount distance. As you can see, I just scoop with all the numbers. I'm going flat first and then I scoop. That was 1.5 open. So we have 0, 0.5, 1 open and 1.5 open. You can clearly see the guides. Now I'm gonna use the last number, which is gonna be 2 open, and this is the number connects my sides with the top. We're gonna connect what we cut already with the scissors. We're gonna connect it with this number. If the hair is thick enough, like in this situation, his hair is quite thick. If the hair is thick enough, then 2.5 should do the job. If the hair is thinner, then I would go with a 3.5 instead. Also, go over many times, comb the hair so you don't have sticking out strands of hair. Then you go down with the same numbers, just close the numbers. That's a very easy technique. You close all the numbers, but you go down. So I'm just gonna use number 2 now, and I'm just gonna go below the 2.5. And you know the hair grows different ways, so try to go against the grain each time. Now 1.5 close, and I'm using the corner of the clipper because you already want to get into details. After you put the lines, after you put the guides, you want to go back and fade the lines using corner of the clipper, and using just enough pressure to remove the hair you want, especially in the dark spots. So this is 1.5 close, and as you can see, all is left now. I have like 2 lines left, which is gonna be easy to remove from now. Of course, the more you detail the haircut, the better it's gonna become. Now I use the spiky number 1. This is a very old number 1. It's a classic number 1. It's a bit shorter than 1, and I open at the second notch of the clipper. So this clipper got 5 clicks, and I open the clipper 2 clicks. You can use number 1 normal one and open a click once. It's gonna be the same thing. I feel like this number 1 just comb the hair, leave the hair a little bit better than the premium guard. So I'm using this one. I enjoy using this one. If you want to go up with this number, you just have to open the lever a little bit more, and you have to use a little pressure, so just in case you go too short, at least you're not going deep. Now open all the way up, as I said, and I'm going higher, and as you can see, as I go higher, I'm not using the same pressure because I don't want to make a gap. I don't want to make a hole into his fade. Now I close the lever all the way up, all the way down. I close the lever all the way down, and I just go into details, guys. Like this it might take minutes, it might take half an hour, depends how much you want to detail the haircut. Just open a little bit, go into detail just with the corner. This is one of the techniques I use, and to be honest, is one of the safest. Like you can't go high with the fade. You already set up the guides. All you have to do is close the numbers and play with the lever. Open and close depends of the hair thickness, depends of the holes, depends of the dips in the head, bone structure. So here I'm already removing the last line, which is gonna be in between the trimmer and 0.5. So 0.5 and trimmer, you have 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 and 0.4. I use all these numbers very slow to remove the line. So open just a little bit the lever and see how much you cut, and then slowly open and close, depends how your hair reacts to the length. As I told you at the beginning, don't press with the trimmer. If you press too much with the trimmer, you're gonna have a very short line, a very short skin line, which is gonna be harder to remove with a clipper. If you wanna remove a trimmer line, if it's too harsh, if it's too short, then you can only remove it with a trimmer. And then by removing the skin line with a trimmer, you can only go higher, and your fade, you're gonna have to start the fade again pretty much. See, I close again. It's almost faded at this point. Very slow. I'm not pressing the skin. I'm not pressing the head. There is a small line I see over there, so I stretch the skin a little bit, and I'm going with the corner with a 0. This is a 0 all the way closed. The lever is all the way closed. And if any one of you use GRL clippers, this is not the standard blade. This is the fade blade, which is very good in my opinion. I love this clipper. I love this blade, and I'm pretty sure this is a tiny thinner, and the 0 is a bit shorter if you zero gap the clipper, of course, and that's why I think I like more the fade blade. But I'm using both blades. I have 2 clippers, so I use both. As you can see, a good fade needs time, and you need to go back a little bit and see from the distance if you need to go more. I can see I have a little bit of a shadow over there. I have a little bit of disconnection. Of course, it's not a big deal. It's not a bad fade. It's not a bad haircut. But if you wanna have a great haircut, then you need to put more details into the fade. Hopefully it's not boring for you, and I hope you learned something from this video. This is definitely not the best way to fade. It's not the quickest way to fade, but I think it works. And now I move to do the shape up in the front, so I'm gonna do a nice curved line using the GRL trimmer. It's also 0 gap, so all my clippers are 0 gap. And of course, the last bit of the fade, I'm gonna use the scissor, a comb, and I'm gonna mix the comb, white tooth of the comb, fine tooth of the comb, depends how much I want to cut. And as you can see here, I'm only using the tips of the scissors, yeah, so I'm not using the whole blade because I don't want to remove a lot length. I just want to go into detail. And of course his hair at the very front is not as thick as the middle, above the ear or something. So I comb here, I see a heavy line, so I'm just going straight up. I'm not gonna follow the head shape, I'm just going straight up, and I just cut a little bit off. As you can see, there in the middle is a bit thick, so I'm just gonna go and do more with the scissor. I'm gonna cut a little bit more, and then I see of course some different density in the hair, and I'm just gonna try to remove them by pointing the scissor. Sometimes this process takes long, so I'm not gonna record all the time I use this, but try and you'll see you can improve your very small details with this technique. Now I go back using the scissor of a comb, but this time I'm going with the fine tooth of the comb because it's not much length to take off, but it's very small hair that sticks out, especially the gray hairs. The one people you have, you know that kind of gray hair sticks out a little bit more. So this is the end result for one side, and this is the before. I think it looks clean. This is after I do the both sides, so this is the back and both sides. And I'm gonna move to the beard. I'm gonna trim his beard. I'm gonna do the beard a little bit shorter. I'm gonna shape it up and do the fade. And I usually use 1.5 close and go with the grain, and this way you don't remove much length. Set up my bottom line and remove the hair on the neck. With the beard I'm gonna speed the process because I think you get bored if you see a 20 minutes beard trim. I'm gonna do the fade, just a quick fade on the beard. I just wanna make sure the fade looks good with the beard, so I'm gonna try to do the same fade at the beard that I do on the sides. I want to have the same transition, the same effect, and the contrast is very important. Of course, if the client wants to keep the beard, not everyone likes the beard. So. Same as I did the haircut, I use the corners of the clipper, and I get into details. Usually on the neck I'm not going with a blade, I'm using a foil shaver. It's very sensitive area, so for me it works better this way. Probably this is not the best angle to show beard trim, but I think it's just enough to see some details. Beard grows very messy, so you have to follow the growth pattern and you have to make sure the transition is smooth. Here I'm using the Tom 45 shave gel, very good gel. I have 2 bottles, it lasts me forever. And I'm trying to to keep the line as high as possible and as sharp as possible for his beard. And then I go over with the scissor just for the spiky little hairs left. So finally guys, I know it was a very long video, but this is the end result. And if you want to support me, if you want to support the channel, please like the video, subscribe, share, and give me a comment. Let me know in the comments what would you like to see next. Short haircuts, long haircuts, different kind of tutorials. Let me know. Thank you very much.